Today's lesson will involve incorporating literacy, writing, mathematics, fine motor skills, and decision-making all around apples. Students will begin by tasting red and green apples. A plate will be placed on the tables where 3 or 4 students will be sitting. While they are tasting the apples, we will discuss apple facts and read a poem, Apples. Apples, apples, what a treat, sweet and tart and good to eat. Apples green, apples red, hang from branches overhead. And when they ripen, they will drop so we can taste our apple crop. The sheet also contains apple facts, which will be sent home so parents and children can discuss what they learned about apples that day. Also during this time, I will discuss with the students, are apples fruit or vegetable? What are some other ways that we use apples? And how many different types of apples do you think there are? I expect that question to give a lot of great answers, and I think they'll be surprised to know that there are 7,500 varieties of apples. Once they've tasted the apples, they will each be given this sheet, and they will color in the apple of the color of the apple that they like as their choice. So my favorite apple is green. So I'm going to color the apple green. And then children will have to tell me if they like red or green apples by circling red or green. If a child is unable to identify the words red or green, I will come around and help them and underline the word, either green or red, hopefully facilitating them to circle the answer of their choice. They will also have to outline the word apples. By underlining red or green with the appropriate color, that will be scaffolding the activity for those students who are having difficulty reading. The students will then be required to cut out the apple. Again, by scaffolding the activity, a child who has good fine motor skills will be able to cut around the apple. Students who have a little bit more challenge will be able to cut around the square. So I am going to cut around the square. After students cut their apples out, they will each be called up to the front to place their apple on the apple chart. They will have to decide which side of the chart their apple goes on. Do they prefer red or green? I am going to place my apple on the green side. This activity will continue until all the students have placed their apples on the board. Once the students have placed their apples on the board, they will also be required to tally their answers on another chart by using a line. So maybe 3 students prefer red apples and 5 students prefer green apples. I will then invite a student to come up to the board and count out how many students like red apples. On the board, the student will then fill out the form, fill out the sentence. So say the answer is 3. They will put a 3, and then another student will come and count the green lines and put a 5. I will also invite a few other students to come check the work of their other students. By incorporating various activities, the children will have to maintain focus to follow a lesson to completion. Number recognition will also be required. They will learn that not everyone likes the same thing, and by working in small groups and then as a class, transition skills will also be used. They will also have to listen to other children as they choose their preferred apples and all understand that not everybody has to like the same things.